When the heart gets excited, it beats a little faster. When the heart is sad, it goes really slow. So it picks up your emotions. And when somebody comes in the room, you can read their heart.
Welcome to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast, where world-changing spiritual entrepreneurs come to deeply awaken the power within to bring forth their greatest purpose, while enjoying being in tune with all life and real wealth in all aspects of their lives. I'm your host, Daniel John Hanneman. And welcome everybody to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. I'm so excited to have you here with my guests today. We've got foremost experts in meditation, and they are going to help you to really get synchronized with your breath and your heart and take meditation, I want to say, to a whole next dimension and level. So I can't wait to hear what they've got to share about that today. So it's my great pleasure. They're amazing people. Like, I just actually first started connecting with them today, and their energy is just spectacular. So it's a testament to the work. You'll see what I'm talking about in a minute here. So Puran and Susanna, so glad to have you on the show.
Hello, Daniel.
Thank
How are you?
Nice to be here.
Very good. Good to have you. I'm going to just share a little bit about both of you, and then we'll go ahead and dive in from there. So Susanna and Puran Bair are co-founders of iamHeart. Gotta love that. It's all about the heart space, baby, for sure. A nonprofit dedicated to helping people access emotional, physical, and spiritual well-being through the transformative practice of heart rhythm meditation, or HRM. Together, they've spent decades developing and teaching this heart-centered approach, which synchronizes breath and heartbeat, creating coherence in the body, mind, and spirit. Hallelujah. Susanna Bair is a pioneering teacher of heart-based meditation whose work draws from over 40 years of study. Just for half a second, over 40 years of study in psychology and the Sufi mystical tradition. Puran Bair brings a unique blend of science and spirituality to this work. With a background in mathematics and physics, love that, he developed practical techniques that make ancient wisdom both measurable and applicable to modern life. Together, they both have taught thousands of students throughout the world and created the Breath and Heart app, making their work accessible, life-enhancing practices readily available to all of you all around the world. So check that out. We'll talk more about that later. They've authored 4 books, including Living from the Heart and Energize Your Heart. So, wow. So it's, again, it's a great pleasure to have you both on. And, there are those people that are just seem a little extra radiant and connected. And, my experience of you two today has been that so far. I'm just like, wow, just a really beautiful energy. So glad to have you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daniel. We're glad to be here with you.
Thank you. So let's talk about this meditation method, I guess. I don't know if that's correct, but let me just say this, let me get the fun part going right away. Like I always say, I might not agree with my guests, and I'm always like, always like to look at all aspects of things. So I'm like, yeah, everybody says they got their special meditation technique. Come on now, there's endless meditation techniques. How could this one be any better than all the other ones? So I just want people to know I'm equally enthusiastic and a cheerleader as I am a skeptic too. Like I do on both sides, because look at everything. But I look at the results. I can see the energy with you guys, and I could sense the power of what you guys do intuitively. So what is it? What is it that why? I mean, I guess, is there one style of meditation that is kind of the top one that most people use? Is it mostly like everybody just tries to blank out their mind and not think? Or what would you say is like what most people think meditation is and how they practice versus what you all offer? I'd love to start there.
Okay, we categorize meditation methods into 2 areas, upward and downward. So the traditional meditations based on the Eastern methods try to go into transcendence. So it's lifting consciousness up out of the body, because the body is considered by that tradition to be, temporary and not really important. The downward method is Western based, and it really emphasizes the heart. It's bringing spirit into the body and into life. So we're not trying to get out of life. We're not trying to shut off our minds. We're trying to turn on our hearts. Shut off nothing. Turn on the heart.
And meditation is really a very, very ancient method, and all of religious traditions have at their core esoteric teachings, and those esoteric teachings often lead to meditation because it's a very internal practice. It is just that religion has changed over the thousands of years, and so does the meditation practice. And according to us and to our experience and knowledge, it's a method that is not made up by us. We have been very well trained in meditation. Originally, I think we both started off with just learning meditation from a book. I started Zen meditation, but then I learned some wonderful breathing practices. But meditation really is something that you can attest. When you come into a crisis in life, when you're really being challenged to your core, then you need a meditation practice that can carry you through, that goes beyond, if I may say, goes beyond prayer. Because when you do prayer, which we do too, and I know very, very well about, I'm a very well-trained Catholic. I can tell you about that if you're interested. But prayer is like where you plead to the one being. Meditation is where you bring the powers of the one into the heart. And when you feel that powers in your heart, then you get the courage again to go through whatever crisis you are in and you move forward. And that is the energy that the heart can provide for you. So that's our experience, the difference just between prayer and meditation.
Do you want to meditate and make money? Let it be simple. Let it be easy. Let it be fun. Go to yoursacredpurpose.com and get your free Meditate, Make Money meditation today.
Oh, interesting. So, I mean, what just keeps coming up to me with the heart space is when I first started channeling energy and beings or whatever, doing some of that sort of work, is first thing I got from Jesus and Gandhi and are like, it's all about the heart, it's all about the heart space. Like it's like that's what it is, and so I that was like my initiation into another initiation. Has been many of them, right? Into going deeper and deeper spiritually. It was like really being about that, because the truth is like that I was given, and it makes sense to me, is we think we need our brain like to focus and hunt and whatever, like really get after it, and that's not actually true. We need to be present. We need to be in our heart space, and the mind, the enlightened mind, right? The awakened mind can easily navigate things for us, but it doesn't need to be so intense. And I feel like what you're talking about with this practice is it helps you to deepen in that heart space, that I always am talking about when I channel Jesus, for example. Like, come back to the heart, like it's a million times that comes through. So it's really beautiful, and I love that you helped differentiate what you guys do from others as well.
Yeah, it's a question of emphasis. I mean, one can center oneself anywhere. And we have a mind, we have a heart, but our idea is to put the heart in charge. So, there are lots of nerves between the physical heart and the brain, but most of those nerves go from the heart to the brain. The brain is not in charge. It's really the heart's in charge. And the brain is like a reflection of what we feel. You think what you feel, so the feeling comes first. And the energy of the heart is amazing. The heart is an energetic engine. It produces a huge magnetic field that fills the room. And people, when they're together, they're in each other's heart fields.
Right. And the heart is the only organ that has a sound. Everybody, has a heart, first of all, but that heart has a very distinctive sound, and it's the lub dub, and The brain doesn't have a sound. It doesn't call you. It's more the thoughts engage people. And the thoughts can be incredibly distracting. But the heart, when it works very well, has a regular, deep, steady heartbeat. But at the same time, you know, when the heart, because it's the seat also of our emotion and of our soul, so when the heart gets excited, it beats a little faster. When the heart is sad, it goes really slow. So it picks up your emotions. And when somebody comes in the room, you can read their heart because you see in what atmosphere their whole heart is residing in. That is a very interesting fact. And when you meditate, all we do is you can put your hand on your heart and you see, what is my rhythm? What is this internal rhythm? And that thing anchors you in your body. Do you see?
Yeah.
And so that is just an incredible thing to focus on because it calls you.
I did that just before we got on here because I knew what you guys are talking about. I'm like, oh, let me feel into my heart and breathe, and so that immediately just reminded me to actually do that. I think that's so interesting. There's so much talk these days about serotonin and dopamine and everything. I see you're from counseling psychology background. I'm from clinical psychology background, and so I thought that was interesting. Um, but these days, like everybody's just act like we're a bunch of addicts. You're just searching for serotonin and dopamine and your hits and everything. I think it's so crude. It's like such a demeaning way to put it. I think, you know, too mechanistic. I think like we're amazing, you know, beings, and yeah, these whatever chemicals are going on. Like, so in other words, my point is, some people might be like, yeah, you're at a party, you're happy because that's dopamine and serotonin, but I think it's so powerful to realize that's the emanation of love. I mean, that's some transcendent, you know, vibration that we're entering into rather than just some particles. You know what I mean? I think like that's so important, that the emphasis you bring to that.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And by the way, the heart also produces hormones, and the heart actually has been redefined as part of the endocrine system. So it actually is a producer of hormones like other endocrine glands, which is kind of an unknown part of cardiology, but it's true. There's a whole lot that the heart does, energetically, chemically, electrically, and emotionally. You know, but what we're really excited about is the spiritual part of the heart. You know, this is a center inside ourselves for the divine. This is where it's centered, you know, and this is where you can find it. Whatever it is you're looking for in the divine, you can find it in your heart.
Yeah, totally, totally. So what got you both doing this work together? Now I gotta ask that question. Now I'm getting really curious because I know your background with I heard in the bio with mathematics and physics and everything, and then you in counseling psychology. I'm like, and everything. So I'm just curious how you guys got together doing this work, the short version.
I should start. Well, you know, I have a very intense religious background. Short form of it is, you know, my father wanted to become a priest, and he didn't because he met my mother and had 4 daughters. And my great aunt, my grandfather's from my father's side, the great aunt, she was the mother superior of a great monastery where I went to school for 10 years. And it was a real foremost school. You know, we had the first PhD nuns of Austria and Hungary in our school. You know, if you as a woman wanted to become a PhD, you had to become a nun. So these were very intelligent, very well-educated women in that school. And so I graduated from them school. I made it through. And then I went to University of Vienna and I studied actually clinical psychology.
Oh, you
And
did too.
I did, yes. And it had several reasons because I was really, really struck by the pain in the world, you know, in my family and all around in the world. And I wanted to know what the cause of the pain is. And I actually had this very naive belief, it's called psychology, the science of the soul. And I thought clinical psychology, maybe when people leave their mask, then you see their truth and their being that is closer to the divine. Well, you don't never get to see that because people are so over-medicated. I did this in the 70s, in the early 70s. So I actually left the field, and my sister by then had become a Carmelite nun. So can you see this intensity in the family? And so I actually, at one point, I moved to America with my first husband, and that is where I was challenged to what I had learned and experienced, how it worked. And it didn't work. Quite frankly, it didn't work because it was a different language. It was a different culture. I had no family. I had no friends around. And so there you are. What works for you? And this is when I looked for a spiritual teacher. And that is where I met my husband. We actually met in France at a great meditation retreat in Chateau Carras, and our teacher asked us to create a school, and we created the School of the Heart because it is free from all those kinds of things. What I learned in very strong religious circumstances, which hold people back to really become who they are, what their purpose is, what their ideals are, and how to fulfill a life and be loving and kind and sweet next to it. So that is where I come from.
Very nice.
So we met in this meditation camp, and we had the same teacher, and that was a long time ago. I've been a student of this teacher for 53 years, and it gives a solid backing. It's like if you wanted to learn brain surgery or something, you wouldn't just read from a book. And meditation is a very complex discipline, and so it's best to learn it from somebody that has mastered it. So we've had that opportunity and that advantage of actually studying with a teacher. I think that's the best way to do it. And now we offer that to other people. We offer to our students. We have a school. You see, we're not just speakers or something. We actually run a school, an international school, and people have been with us. Some of them have been with us for 30 years. So it's a very dedicated process. One gets drawn into it further and further. It's very deep.
Right. Infinite depth, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, iamHeart.org, right? So, yeah, I haven't I'm sure I went to the website a few times already, but it's been a while, get busy, looking at things, getting ready for shows and whatnot. But yeah, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that. And so you're an online school internationally, and a cornerstone of it is helping people learn about meditation and this specific type of meditation in particular. Is that right or no?
That's right. We have a particular kind of meditation, which is Western in origin. It actually comes out of Egypt, really, way back. But then it's something that has run through the mystics of the world in different traditions and different religions. Mysticism is something that's outside of dogma, outside of structures and organizations. It's something that is internal, and people have direct access, to the divinity through their own experience by going within. And in our particular tradition, we focus on the heart rather than, say, the third eye or something like that. We focus on the heart, and there we find the source. But I wanted to offer your listeners some steps as to how you could make meditation more easy to do and more effective. There are things to consider. For instance, it's good to have an intention when you sit down to meditate. why are you doing this? You could be doing so many other things, you know. Why are you sitting down now to meditate? And that's helpful because you can do the same thing with different intentions. You get different results. The intention has a way of affecting what happens. And then there's the position. What's the position of your body? You know, in the old days, people sat cross-legged, lotus position, that kind of thing. But that has a reason. It has a purpose because when you fold the legs, the energy that's circulating in the body is aimed back into the body. And same with the hands. You put the hands, palms towards you, and the energy of the palms coming out of the palms is focused back into the body. So there's an internal conservation of energy. Our method is different. We want to change the world. We want to have an effect on other people and on the planet as a whole. So we put our feet on the ground instead of folded, and our hands are open. So this important difference because the way you sit changes the way the energy flows inside your body. And then
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I was just gonna say, I mean, the most basic things that you know, the very basics is like keep your spine erect, you know, has been
yes,
kind of the big thing.
that's right. The spine is like an antenna. So if you want to broadcast, you want to have a straight spine. And then there's the question about attention. Where do you place your focus? And where in the body or outside the body? Well, we want to focus our attention in the body, specifically on the heart. The next step is breathing. How do you breathe? There's different ways of breathing. There's different rhythms, different lengths of breath. Some people, some meditation methods use a very shallow breath, like you're hardly breathing at all. In our meditation, we breathe deeply because breath, as you know, is spirit. Same word in some languages, right? For breath and spirit. So you want more spirit, you need more breath. So we take a really deep breath and slow. And then there's a question of how do you breathe? Through your nose, through your mouth, in and out. You know, there's different ways to do that. And those all have an effect on the result of the meditation. And then there's you can stimulate a part of the body. Like I was watching a video that you did when you were channeling Jesus, and you went like this first. You know,
Right.
you tapped your third eye. Well,
Correct.
that has an effect. But try tapping your heart. You know, would have a different effect, and
Right.
it's also useful. So you can actually stimulate the heart by tapping on your chest because the vibrations go in very easily. And then the last thing is invocation. Who are you invoking? So you mentioned Jesus quite a lot, and I think that's it. But it's important, I think, to think that we're not meditating alone. We're asking for the presence of someone that's gone before that can help us with this process. So you consciously think of someone. You know, it's also helpful to have somebody that is alive, perhaps that who knows you. You know, and can like if you wanted to do brain surgery, you might think of a great brain surgeon, and that would give you confidence and give you some ability that you sort of borrow from that person that you're thinking of. So these are 6 steps. We call them the 6 basic powers. And it's very helpful to kind of run through them when you're meditating. Like, okay, now how's my position? How's my breathing? Where's my attention? What was my intention? How am I stimulating my body? And who did I invoke? You know, these are helpful points.
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. Susanna, any extra ones you want to add into that?
Well, the thing that I would like to add, the practice is very easy to learn, so he gives the message, take a posture. And then you really start, like in every meditation, you start by becoming aware that the breath just flows. We cannot do anything without breathing, right? So you become aware of this wonderful little breath that goes through you all the time. And you actually feel grateful because this breath comes to you without any of your awareness, your consciousness. It's there at all times, just like the heart. And here you make your breath conscious and aware. And then that is actually the only thing that we can change, Daniel. You can make your breath more deep. You can actually exhale fully and completely and slow. So for that, we use our abdominal muscles, the muscles below our belly button. And we really contract in the exhalation. And when we inhale, we make a big balloon and really bring in all the capacity. The breathing capacity in our everyday breathing is maybe half a liter or maybe a quarter liter. It can be up to 5 liters. Do you see? And that's what we practice. And when you use that full breath, your heart comes to the foreground. You actually, the heart starts showing itself. Very often the heart is hidden in people and they struggle with this. Where's my heart? Why is my heart not breathing? But when you breathe fully, your heart comes to the foreground and you can go. The heart beats actually in a certain rhythm and the breath goes in a certain rhythm, slow, deep, and full. And these are the two clocks that you start to put together. And you come to this incredible field that you create because those two clocks, the breath and the heart, are never connected. The heart runs and your breath runs and your mind does God knows what. And then you want to be successful in life, right? You see?
Wait a minute. I got stuff. Wait, what's this? I'm being
Thank you.
successful. I'm running hard. I'm doing this
That's
done.
right. And here you're sitting down and you bring all those rhythms together into one because the mind starts changing when the heart and the breath connect. The body becomes very still. And all of a sudden, this heart can start speaking to you. And sometimes it tells you how peaceful and how happy it is that you give this environment and this attention to your heart. And sometimes you get, I'm really sad and I'm really tired. I'm tired the way how you treat me. The heart speaking to you.
Yeah.
It really has a voice. And some people hear the voice through, sensations in the body. Some people hear really voices, and some people see things, and some people get certain ideas.
Right.
So the heart has not just one language, it has lots of different expressions. And if you start listening to these expressions inside of yourself, and they can change over time, you know, and there's really some incredible changes happening in your life. We speak in our school about 9 steps of realizations that people go through. They are on the mental level, on the emotional level, and spiritual levels. And there's really some big changes where people realize what their lives are about and why the world goes through this turmoil and where that all can lead, and going always all that with kind of peacefulness and create a different atmosphere where we have the feeling we can have a greater effect on the world than the world has on us.
Wow. Yeah, that's again, I say often here, I guess, but it's a spiritual rock star way. All part of spiritual rock star way. And yeah, it starts with touching into that that dimension of the heart. And now it's so interesting. Like for me, some of the meditation, I've had meditation retreats I go to and whatnot, and more of the Zen Buddhist tradition. So it's more about you're just here to be awareness, basically, is what it comes down to. Everything else is a meditation, and see, everybody has their own definition. You're just there to be pure awareness, basically, is what they're saying. They put in those terms. But everything else, you try to do anything, almost. Now we're not meditating anymore. We're doing something else, right? So I think it's interesting that different philosophies and ideas, I think they all probably have value, but what I'm hearing with this is like this has a certain value in terms of like there's so much you could do. I mean, there's people that say you can go in and visualize things when you're meditating, and that's really important and huge. And you can go to other dimensions, and then like you say, you go in the body, you connect with your heart. So I'm just curious, I do want to ask more about the specifics of this meditation that you teach, but I wanted to know, like, do you teach that there is value in all these different approaches and methods? Or is it more like, man, this is like the approach? I doubt it, but like, I was wondering what your thoughts are about all the different types of meditations that are out there, and why would this be like something somebody should invest more focus on than other types of meditation? You kind of touched on it earlier, but I wanted to flesh it out.
Good.
Yeah. Well, you see, meditation has evolved over time. Uh, and it's evolved with a sort of philosophy about, well, what is a person and what is God? And that those ideas have changed. So it used to be, and you see this in Buddhism, the body and the mind are considered to be part of the Maya, the illusion. They're not really real, you see. And they were trying to solve the problem about how is it possible that a person could be at one with the universe and be unique at the same time? How can you be one and be different, unique, you see? And that's a problem that they couldn't solve in the old days. So you know what they did? They took an easy solution. They said the individual part is illusion. The real part is the universal part. So just focus on that and forget the other part.
Mm.
But since especially since quantum physics, we've learned a lot about how it's possible to be both. And that's the image of the macrocosm and the microcosm. This comes out of science, right? That the macrocosm expresses itself in every microcosm, but the whole macrocosm is in every microcosm. So that's a real brain teaser. How's that work?
Yeah, right.
But
Yep.
because that is becoming something which people can comprehend, that changes the notion of spiritual work. Instead of closing one part and opening another part, we're doing both. We want to
Mm.
be aware of our individual self, and we want to be guided by the universe. If we don't have that, if we don't have an ego, we can't take responsibility. We can't say, I'll do it, which is a very egotistical statement because it's individual, you see, but that's what we
Isn't
need.
it ego to say I'm not doing anything? It's just the universe flowing. I don't know. Whatever I do, it doesn't
Exactly.
matter. Like I didn't do it. I'm not an ego. It just is happening.
That's
That's
right. That's
another
right.
interesting way to go about things.
It is interesting, and that's been the way for a long time. But now we're like, who's responsible here?
Right.
I want to be responsible. I want to actually
Right.
do it. And I want to just let it happen. Maybe it happens and maybe it doesn't. But
Mhm.
if I can do something, I can have an effect on the world.
Yes. Yes.
So in our meditation, instead of working with consciousness, we work with energy. Energy and consciousness are brothers and sisters. They're related. In science, we say when you have energy, energy carries information. So consciousness rides on energy. So if you want to change something, if you can change the energy, and the consciousness follows.
Right.
And so with our meditation, we focus on the energy, and the energy comes from breath. And again, more breath, more energy. Whereas in the Eastern methods, they try to minimize breath because they're not interested in energy; they're interested in expanding consciousness.
Mm.
Well, and that's done, by uncentering. Like Buddha said, disassociate from all that is transient. Well, there's a lot of that, right, in the self, a lot that can change. And the idea was to stop thinking of anything which is subject to change. Just focus on that which is eternal. Well, I mean that throws away a lot of good stuff, like our mind
Yeah.
and our
The
and
show
our
is an eternal. I shouldn't focus on it. Just
right.
funny ideas like that, right?
Right. So we want both. We want people to be really empowered to do their work and have a purpose in their life and be responsible for that purpose and help people. Don't let it up to something else, some divine force. You be the divine source. It's right there in your chest.
Mhm. Yeah,
You,
yeah,
you know,
turning that on, kind of activating it, being aware of it, that sort of thing. Yeah. I'm sorry, Susanna, what were you saying?
well, we have people in our school who have studied TM, Transcendental
Yes.
Meditation,
Mhm.
to a very long time and very deep, new Maharishi, Yoga, and themselves met him and studied with him, and then works with other teachers like Amaji and so, and then they come to us, and I say, why are you coming now? He said, well, I really would like to get something done. TM brings you into great bliss. He said, it's so hard to leave TM because this bliss is so wonderful. But if you really want to do something, he says heart rhythm meditation is the best method for that because it activates you. Heart rhythm meditation actually helps you to heal the wounds of the heart. You know, I had once a Buddhist monk come to one of our lectures at a bookstore, and he marveled at the end of a 15-minute meditation. He said, "This was so wonderful." I said, "What's so wonderful about this meditation? Can you share?" And he said, "I never, ever listened to my real heart. I always imagined my heart. My imagined heart does not have pain, and it does not have real joy." He said, "In your meditation, I felt the first time how wounded my heart is, and I felt that I actually could heal those wounds." And this is when you say, you know, what kind of thing do you focus in your school at? When the people are wounded, you know, we have lots of mentors in our school. We have 100 mentors trained and teachers trained and retreat guides. So our mentors then just focus, how can we help you to heal? Do you see? And when their hearts are healed, then they want to do something else. Their whole focus is on success, and they want to sit on success and help others. And then comes a path where they say, is there more to life than just success? And when that more to life comes, then they want to focus on spirit. And who and what is, how can I access that through my heart? So those are just a few descriptions of these steps that you go through when you move deeply into the heart and stay with it. You know, and one needs to know when people start meditating with this heart rhythm meditation, some people can only sit still for 3 minutes or not even that. They sit still and they say, I have so much to do. Why do I meditate? And they say, I have no time, you know, to learn.
Yep.
To learn through meditation that I can make time, that I can make peace, that I can make money, that I can make love, that I can make space. Those are incredible skills.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, if you're just kind of checked out into the other dimensions, yeah, a lot of stuff may not be happening that you'd like to see happening more of. So I hear you on that. And so yeah, for me, I just take such great pleasure in all the different things that you can do with meditation. But I gotta say, so far, and it may change, my primary meditation style is simply to rest in the presence because honestly, like for me, you know, most of the time there's nothing more liberating feeling than that. I'm not trying to go anywhere. I'm not trying to go deeper in the body. I'm not trying to do anything. I'm just being present. You know, I'm just present. And I mean, I can do all different things. I can work with the energy. I can, when I go deeper in the heart, I can do all of those things, right? I know where, you know, focus the attention, but that's just been my experience so far. But you know, I haven't deeply explored, you know, what you guys do. So now, the one question I have before we get deeper into the actual process of that meditation, because I still want to get there, but I was wondering, like, what is your thought about like the heart space itself? Because there's all kind of conceptions about that, and I don't know how you guys look at that, but like there's your personal heart, right? And then there's the universal heart, and there's so many ways of talking about it, right? The sacred heart or whatever. So, do you make differentiations about the heart space? Because it's a big category, it seems.
Yes, well, of course, we're very happy to have our own heart, but then we notice that within our heart, there seems to be a very deep emotion which is shared with everyone. So if you go deep into your own heart, you find the emotion of humanity. So there is a universal heart, a heart of humanity that's within each heart. That's like the macrocosm is inside the microcosm. So we talk about the one heart, which is the heart of all things, and then the individual heart. And the one heart is in our hearts, and we are within it. You know, so what is it that's inside you that you're inside of? That's that paradox, and it's a beautiful way to see it, that there is one heart, and it has all that humanity's ever experienced. It holds the experience of every heart, and we can tap into that. So we're not just looking at our own experience, our own feelings, our own consciousness, but we're able to expand to take in the experience through the one heart of all beings.
Mm-hmm.
And and what you said was, quite good, that the feeling of just resting in the presence. I mean, this is wonderful. This is
Quite an
rejuvenating and but the thing is that the prophets have come over time through humanity. Every once in a while, another prophet appears, and something is advanced. Something new is given. Something new is like it's the old message. It's the only one message, but it keeps getting rejuvenated and a little bit illustrated differently. So, if we only needed to focus on consciousness, Buddha would have been fine. We could have stopped there. But then
Right.
then Jesus
We're done.
came.
Game over, eh? One teaching, that's it.
And then Jesus came, and well, he brought a different feeling to it,
Yeah. Right.
like the story of the fig tree, and Jesus was concerned this fig tree doesn't making any figs. So we need, I think he's saying to us, look, you guys have a purpose. You're here for a reason.
Right.
Let's do that. So how could meditation help you get that confidence and courage and energy,
Yes.
to go do what you feel you want to do when you've seen it, right? First you have to see it, but then you have to be it, right? And you have to bring it into your body and you have to operate it. And for that you need energy.
Interesting. So let's talk more about how does this process work? You gave some steps to help people with their meditation and starting to get in a even greater place of connection, perhaps, etc. But how do we actually like synchronize our breath with our heart? My little mind was like having fun just playing with the idea for a second. I wonder if it's like this or like that, or because I haven't learned your method yet.
Yes.
But like you're only going to give like a little piece of it today, probably. But I'm sure. But I'm curious, how do you approach like synchronizing the breath with the heart?
It goes very simply through counting.
Okay.
It's a very proved method, because I said it's two different clocks, the clock of the heart and the clock of the breath. And the heart gives you the rhythm. The heart is the dominant rhythm there because the breath is much longer and doesn't have a beat, usually doesn't even have a rhythm. So we usually breathe irregularly in and out, and we are unaware of. And anxiety changes our breath, joy changes our breath, and all these emotions, when we are excited or when we are surprised, it all goes with a different breath, and the heart reacts too, but the heart still keeps the rhythm. So when you sit still in these basic powers that Puran described, when you sit in this place and you feel your heartbeat, then you can go 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm inhaling for 4 counts. Can I exhale for 4 counts, or do I have a much longer inhalation or much longer exhalation? So we learn how to balance our breath. And that way, you self-regulate your whole biosystem. Because everything runs according to the rhythm of your heart, your whole physical body, your mind, and your emotional body too, and probably your spiritual body too. Because most of the time people think the spirit is in charge, not when your whole life is totally chaotic. Do you know what I mean? If your heart is totally chaotic, you have to start with this very basic practice to align the rhythms and see how can I build up these rhythms, make them really stable and confident. And that's where the inner confidence comes from. But it's a real powerful technique and very simple.
So you can change your breath. You can't change your heart rate directly. So you change your breath and you adjust the breath to the heart rate. You're watching the heart rate. It's like the clock ticking. And then you count heartbeats, breathe in for 6 heartbeats, breathe out for 6 heartbeats. That's the essence of it. That means but the difficulty is you have to be aware of your heart and really the beat of the heart. And then you have to be able to change your breath. And then to do that regularly over and over, Spend 20 minutes doing that, and you'll feel this incredible integration of the heart and the mind and the body working together in the same rhythm. You know, that's why we call it heart rhythm, because heart rhythm meditation, it produces this incredible holistic rhythm that includes all the parts of yourself in rhythm together. So again, it's just breathe in for 8 heartbeats or 6 or 4, 6. I like 6, but you can adjust that, you know, but whatever number you choose, breathe in and out for the same number.
Mm-hmm.
And so you get a balanced breath. The breath is the same in and out. And we have an app for that. You see, we have this
There's the app.
this app.
Yeah.
You put your finger on the camera lens, and
Oh,
it
interesting.
picks up your heartbeat.
Oh,
So
wow.
if you can't feel your heartbeat, and a lot of people can't feel their heartbeat right away, it comes. But if you can't feel it right away, it's okay. You put your finger on the camera lens, and it picks up the heartbeat, and then it tells you, okay, here's you know, it counts for you. So it tells you, all right, now you're breathing in, and then it counts heartbeats as you breathe out, and so you can adapt the breathing to the heartbeat very easily. And then, you know, then you learn to do it without the app.
And you can adjust how many heartbeats you want to do, and then it gives you a sound with it too, you know, like a musical sound.
Okay.
And you can measure the heart rate variability.
This app is free. It's called Breath and Heart, both Android and iPhone.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
And then you have here how long you want to meditate. You can put that in, and it gives you a ringer, because it's helpful when you say, I want to meditate for 5 minutes, and you actually sit there for 5 minutes. Then you can increase 10 minutes, whatever. And you keep to that no matter what. When you learn that, the self-regulation starts, because then there's somebody in charge. Most of us live without anybody being in charge. And that makes the heart very unruly. You know, you wouldn't believe how many people have heart rhythm problems, you know, AFib and arrhythmia and all those things.
Right.
Here is the HRV. Where is that? Well, whatever. So there's a lot on that app. There's a lot of guided meditations on it too.
The point is that the meditation is actually good for your body. You see, we really wanted a meditation that's good for the body. And in the, you know, the first written example of this meditation was written in a book by Philemon, one of the disciples, not a direct disciple. He was a disciple of Paul, but he wrote a book very early on in Christianity, and he described this method, but you know, without so much detail as we give it. We've really expanded it by being able to measure things and use apps and things like that, so we can really make it precise. And we also I have come to understand what the physiological effect is. We really wanted it to be absolutely healthy, and so that's what we have that now.
But Philemon's intention was how to pray unceasingly.
Right.
And you pray unceasingly by putting the prayer on the heart. In that way, the prayer just keeps moving. And that is what you can do with spiritual practices of different kind, different invocations. And so you do them out loud and on the breath for some time, and then you put them on your heart. And it carries you through the day till you do the practice again. And the heart, you know, works with the electromagnetic field, and the electromagnetic field just radiates. I'm sorry, Puran.
Right. Boom. Right.
Well, you know, the light, the speed of light is 380 kilometers a second.
300,000 kilometers a second.
300,000 kilometers a second. That's how the speed of light is. Right. And that light comes from our heart. You see, so can you imagine you sit here in a second, you communicate with the whole world and much further with all the beings.
Instantaneously, in my opinion. It's like just no time. Basically, I mean, but so that's fantastic. So definitely, guys, Breath and Heart app, right? So definitely take advantage of that. And then I know you also have a access to a free gift too on your website. So you want to tell them about that?
Yeah, we put this address up here on the, can you see that?
Yeah.
It says iamHeart.org/gift. That gives you access to the app and also to our free studio where people are meditating every day for free and with a teacher, a live teacher. You can join in. And we also have courses. We have courses of different lengths, weekends and several weeks long and several years long. We have different levels of courses.
The studio is just at different times of the day. So 7 days a week, but at different times because people are in different time zones.
Right.
So if you are in Taiwan or in Philippines or wherever.
We're trying to make it easy for people to learn this. So we give it away.
Fantastic. Well, that's very awesome. I mean, so looking forward to checking that out. And then you help them. And I'm imagining each session is going to be around like synchronizing with the heart or not.
Right. That's right. That's the first thing. Well, it's not the first thing. We have to kind of build up to it because we have to learn about how to breathe and how to feel your heart.
Okay.
But yeah, we get to that point where you're synchronizing your breath and your heart.
Wow. Well, that's cool. It's like it's almost like training, right? It's like come to
Yes,
the gym.
exactly. That's right. Just like a
Come to your
gym.
meditation gym.
Right.
That sounds like fun. I may be attending soon then, just for
Good.
because hey, we all could use a gym. It don't matter where you're at with it, right? It's like you
That's
could
right.
all use a gym. So yeah, I have to check that out then for sure. So fantastic. And then yeah, and then I just want to just dive in next into our next segment. I just wanted to share with you guys, especially you two, some downloads I have for you. My Energy Scan Spotlight segment. Are you ready to receive a couple of downloads?
Absolutely. Thank you.
Can't wait.
And everybody, yes, and everybody who's listening in, remember, there may be some nuggets in here for you. Usually there are when I give downloads. So that will resonate for you too in some way. Okay, so let me just take a moment. So I'm looking at you two as a couple, and like the thing that I'm just guided to share is uh, you, Paran, is your third eye energy is like got this poof, like focused energy, and so I just noticed that, and then I noticed more so with you, Susanna, the connection with the infinite and the connection in the crown really popped right away, and so I felt like almost like you're both doing it, but like you're both. It's not one or the other, but it's like you're kind of like holding this big space in a way, and then he's like got more of this piercing. You know, both could be piercing, but I mean, he's got this piercing energy through the third eye, and so it's a beautiful partnership in that way. So I'm just giving the high level of it, but like that's just what came through right away. I wanted to share that. I saw that in you guys. So isn't that beautiful that you two complement each other that way? We'll talk about that in a moment. Let me see what else is coming through real quick. It's just so fun. So yeah, you definitely, to me, you have like Mother Mary type of energy, uh, Susanna, and so it's you could be so fierce. You could be really, really fierce, but like you've got such softness too, right? Such a great both of you are this way, but I see it in you right now. And then with you, Piran, I just see like some of the old stuff, like the male energy, through all the generations or whatever, like all this, like you, you need to learn how to do it. You gotta get it done. And all this energy, like I see in there, and then I'm just like, wow, there's a lot of like a very toxic feeling, and then but I could see, there's lots of levels of it you've cleared, but like I could still see it. It's like it's funny how we all have stuff, right? But I just noticed that. So the benefit of that is again, you'll be very dedicated to make sure things are right and done right, and did we get it done right or whatever. So it's an exacting sort of energy. that helps sharpen people up. So the teaching you have is like perfect for you, like the perfect what you teach. So so I don't know. There's a couple of downloads I got. Any quick reflections or thoughts?
Thank you. Lovely.
I think you're very right on. You know, I feel very strongly that energy, I for me it comes out of the heart, but I really can travel far and wide with that energy. And I'm the one in the school who most of the time gives names, and I just they just are like great downloads, as you would say, and they come from
Mm-hmm.
that invisible realm and picking up a person in their essence.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I find it interesting that you see the Mother Mary energy in me. I find this is a great compliment.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and the fierceness of my personality, I'm very, yeah. I think you need a strong direction next to a man like this, who has the
Yeah, I
strong
think so.
third eye
Yeah.
and things need to get done. So
Yeah.
I can hold that energy next to him. That is right.
Yeah, totally. Totally. Baron, any thoughts about what came through?
Yeah, there's a lot of I notice a lot of energy in my eyes,
Mhm.
and I work on that. I bring up the energy from the heart and shine out through the eyes, and also through the heart. Actually, I did an experiment with a photon counter, and I could show that real visible light comes out of the heart in heart rhythm meditation. Real visible light, and enough, actually 2 orders of magnitude beyond visible threshold. So you can send quite a lot of light out of your heart, and it also rises up to the eyes. So that's something I'm familiar with, and I'm glad you noticed.
Oh, okay, cool. That's fun. Awesome. I'm glad you guys were resonated, I guess that's the word I'm looking for, with what came through, and that's fantastic. So it's just loads of fun. So everybody that's listening, the audience, I actually train people to do this sort of work, to do energy scanning, tune into people, and to grow your healing business, to increase your healing and all that, because of the ability to do such things. So if you want to check that out, just go to yoursacredpurpose.com or go to our website that you see in the whatever, we'll have a link below to go check out maybe one of our upcoming classes or previews where I talk about energy scanning and energy scan secrets, and how to start tipping into that place where you're connected to that infinite intelligence, and you have all that awareness, and you start trusting it. You start having the confidence, right? You do the combo of this meditation, and then you start doing scanning. You start bringing your gifts out in the world, man. You'll become unstoppable for sure. Absolutely. So I'm so grateful to both of you. I'm going to give you guys the last word. Is there any last words you want to share with the audience today?
Well, heart rhythm meditation is for anybody, who wants to find their way forward in life and wants to be successful and purposeful with great meaning. It is not just something to get busy with, but to really make a greater contribution to this world and through their loved ones. It's a meditation that helps you to love everybody fully with your heart and create at the same time a heart energy that other people can download into their own heart.
Yeah, I would say everybody needs a practice. You need something to do regularly. It's self-development, just like as you said, it's like a gym, but it's a gym for the inner world.
Mm.
And it should, I'd say, in our time, in this age, the emphasis is on love rather than awareness. Love and
Harmony.
harmony, right?
Yeah, yeah, I love. I just did an IG clip. I put it on trial reel so nobody else sees it. Yeah, but I'm like, love is the answer. I just kept repeating it. Love is the answer. Love is
Yes,
the answer. Love is the answer.
that's right.
Having fun doing that. So absolutely, thank you so much, both of you. You're so
Thank you.
amazing. Your heart's energy definitely shines through. And so thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thanks for
Thank you so
having me.
much, Daniel. You're a gem, Daniel. Thank you. I wrote down your websites and stuff.
Oh, thank you
It's
so
very
much.
helpful what you do. Thank you.
And to all our listeners, keep on tuning in. We'll keep on rocking it here at Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. See you next time.
For listening to Spiritual Rockstar Podcast. Stay tuned for our next upcoming new episodes each Wednesday and Saturday. Please be sure to subscribe, rate, and review to help us to serve you best. As a reminder, you can get your free Meditate and Make Money meditation at www.yoursacredpurpose.com to rock your sacred purpose. Goodbye for now, everybody.